Have the stories of civil disobedience in New Hampshire inspired you? Are you frustrated at your inability to participate? Well, be frustrated no longer. Now you can pitch in. The Civil Disobedience Evolution Fund allows you to assist these gutsy activists as they make a stand for your liberties. Find out more at cdevolution.org.
So on copblock.org, there's a great little thing, apparently written by Guy Fawkes, even though he's been dead for centuries. But let's see here. It was posted on January 21st by Ademo himself, who is currently in jail for talking out of turn in the sacred chambers of our Lord and Master, the Judge. But anyway, that's beside the point. This is the Photographer's Manifesto. So essentially it's written like to, somebody. So it's kind of worded weird right now. But anyway.
That's kind of how manifestos tend to be, I guess.
Are they? I can't recall ever reading too many of them, but I'm not terribly communist. Anywho, on to the thingy. To local, state, and federal police, as well as private security hired to guard public places.
We didn't come
We are photographers. We are artists. Artists no different than painters, sculptors, and musicians. We do not become terrorists, pedophiles, or any other kind of suspect just by the mere act of using a camera in public places. We reserve the right to pursue our art as we choose, as long as we are not violating private property laws. Right? Because if it's the public way, you're in public, you have no expectation of privacy.
We're specifically talking about public buildings, too.
Yeah, and you better believe that the government is videotaping everything.
Even if you're not supposed to be on the grounds, again, if you're behind the fence, there's a fence that says how far you can go up to the White House. It's pretty far back now. But you can take a picture of the White House. I mean, you're
supposed to be able to, you would think.
You ought to be able to.
Yeah, if it's such a secure thing, maybe you should put a fence around it that you can't see through.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, and it's so easy to have hidden cameras these days.
Yeah, like and if it can be seen by the human eye, then it's not a secure area.
And you can put cameras in a pen in your pocket now. There's no way you're going to keep someone from casing a building and learning stuff about it and taking pictures.
Just an excuse to harass people.
And if they have nefarious intentions, then they're going to have something hidden. They're not going to have their camera out in the open in plain view. It's the same idea behind the whole notion of people open carrying their weapons.
Yeah.
Not a fan of weapons myself, but I don't feel any sense of security in the idea that of not letting there's someone open carrying a weapon is obviously if they don't have
it doesn't
if they have
intimidate
nefarious
you and scare
intentions
you just by it being there.
No, it doesn't. If they have nefarious intentions, they're going to hide it. And if they're going to rob a place or threaten someone with the gun, they're going to hide it. They're not going to worry about whether they have a permit because they're going to shoot someone.
They're already breaking laws and such.
Yeah, bigger laws than the gun. Than the gun ones.
And just carrying.
It's the same idea with cameras.
Yep. So back to the
not more silly
manifesto. We reserve the right to pursue our art as we choose, as long as we are not violating private property laws. As artists, we photograph what is interesting to us. This may be bridges, water tanks, trains, public buildings, etc. In the U.S., there is a legal right to photograph anything in clear view in public. Law enforcement should be well aware of this, yet there is case after case of aggressive tactics by law enforcement against photographers, sometimes under the guise of preventing terrorism, in quotes.
So, turn that off, please. Oh, I'm sorry, why? You're on federal property, turn it off.
Other times, cops just not liking being under the camera lens.
Excuse me, sir, you're getting very close to me. I don't like that.
Yeah, good. Give me your license, registration, insurance card.
In light of this, we do not ask, we demand that law enforcement authorities obey the very same laws that everyone else has to... We obey the very same laws that everyone else has to, and stop the illegal and abusive harassment they have been perpetrating upon people who are violating no laws.
Can I help you? You are Russell Canning, correct, sir? No. You're not? That's right. You have any identification?
In most states and cities, a person on foot undergoing a lawful activity is not required to present ID to police, nor is he required to answer any questions. Photographers exercising their legal rights should not be the victim of phony contempt of cop charges. Officers being refused ID and conversation need to suck it up and walk away.
Just asking the young lady and the gentleman.
I'm recording, by the way.
Video or audio?
Both.
Okay, you can't record audio.
Well, I'm going to step back from you in that case, so that I can't hear you.
All right.
We as photographers should not have to bear the responsibility of teaching the police federal, state, and local laws regarding photography. As police have shown persistent obstinacy when told by photographers that they are overstepping their bounds, the only way they seem to be able to learn is by losing a court case, which doesn't seem to help in instructing any other cops about photographers' rights. We believe it is the responsibility of those in charge to spread the word to their subordinates, the simple laws that I have stated above. And then it lists two things here. One, public photography is legal, including photographing the outside of federal buildings. And two, unless there is a local law to the contrary, photographers are not required to give out ID or answer any questions. Ordering them to stop photographing is illegal. They are not required to obey such orders, and police should not give them in the first place.
I think they might be referring to the idea that if you're asked by a police officer...
Yeah, I guess this is in regards to federal buildings, maybe. So.
You have to identify yourself if they ask you to.
Yeah.
Well, we've got.
But that's essentially it.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by CDEvolution.org.